Alright, so today's video is not about this week's training like I thought it would be. I actually had to call the vet out for your yearly sort of examination, and also because Koda was suffering from some pretty bad rain rot and it was spreading pretty rapidly, so it kind of stressed me out a little bit. I'll go into exactly what the vet said about Koda in just a moment, but I do want to take note of mine and Koda's progress. Although I didn't have our usual clicker training sessions this week, I have actually gotten Koda to the point of me being able to hang out with him in the pasture for hours on end, and he's perfectly content with me out there. He doesn't mind the company. It's just awesome being able to hang out with my horse in the pasture for hours on end, considering that it was weekly that farmhands were being attacked and threatened by my horse. And Koda's also to the point of being able to groom him in the pasture, and I'm able to rub him literally all over his body. He's just not quite comfortable picking up his feet yet, which is what part of the plan for this week was. But anyways, the other day I was going out to groom him, and that's when I noticed the rain rot, which is likely due to limited grooming. He is okay, by the way. So like I said, my original plan for this week was grooming sessions, some clicker training, but we didn't have any of that except for some minor grooming with the curry, and I didn't get anything on video except what you're seeing in the background. All I got was a lovely vet bill. But in all seriousness, what exactly did the vet say? Koda's underweight with a body score of 4 out of 9. She wants him at about a 4.5 to 5. 9 being as he is morbidly obese. Lack of grooming and certain vitamins in his diet are the cause of the rain rot. You know, obviously with the rain and the muddy weather as well. He is ready to have his feet done under sedation, which I will go ahead and say did not go well at all. Except in my eyes, it went great. I'll go into more detail about that later. And overall, we have a very healthy looking 4 to 5 year old who just needs some ground manners and work. She also recommended some trainers and a farrier. Alright, so what am I doing about what the vet said? I am going along with the vet's recommendation, and I also read up on what her recommendations were, which was a certain pelleted feed called Purina Enrich. I'm sure many of you heard of it. Maybe you guys are using it. So I made some slight diet changes. I implemented a pound of Enrich a day into Koda's feed. I also have a omega and vitamin E supplement in like a jug on the way, so he'll be on that until it's gone. And like I said, I did get the farrier out. I got him out the next day after the vet visit, and he said Koda needs ground manners, he needs a job, and he didn't want to risk me, the farrier, or the horse getting injured during the visit, so he did not trim him that day. And he also said someone was definitely harsh on him about his feet in the past. And his feet are bad, yes, but he can go for a little while longer while he gets more training. Also, super nice farrier, by the way, and I'm excited to have him for his next visit. He even gave Koda a nice massage, so I was very happy about that. Koda was still, during both visits, hopping around, kicking out with his back feet, but it was not at all as extreme as it used to be, and there were some short periods where he would just stop. But when I say short, they were short periods. But I am proud of him, even though I don't think either the vet or the farrier were that impressed, which I completely understand. Back under we go, because I'm too lazy to open a gate. I'm extremely proud because, like I said, it's not to the same degree as it was before, and these people were complete strangers to Koda and weren't asking him for the feet the same way I was in the previous training sessions that you guys saw. And, you know, overall, between the two visits, it's very apparent that Koda needs ground manners, which we all knew, and the vet highly recommended against working through the gate when it came to the feet, because it's very dangerous. So I will not be doing that anymore. And both the vet and the farrier recommended getting trainers out, which I'll talk about a little bit further just later in this video. So yeah, how am I gonna go about Koda's training now? Koda's health is, you know, now at play here, and I want a happy, healthy horse, and I worry if I want to achieve that I'm not moving fast enough. You know, my last concern right now, and I get a couple comments here and there, if I'm riding him, if I'm starting him, and I haven't specifically said that Koda has not started under saddle yet. He has been off the track for 2 years and has just no one's messed with him. So my last concern is actually getting him under saddle. My main concern right now is daily grooming, daily bug preventatives, and just basic handling. So how do I achieve that? As much as I'm using food for clicker training, I don't want food to be expected with everything. I just like him to enjoy company without thinking he's always going to get something out of it, you know? Maybe a positive experience out of it, but not necessarily food. I'm still going to use clicker training, but I'm just going to be picky about what I use it for. So yeah, for this next week, I want to really prioritize daily grooming and pasture training. Just me being out in the pasture and work on just basic handling in the pasture, and that does include working on his feet in the pasture because I do want his feet done. And I genuinely thought it was going to be smooth sailing from like here on out, but since the vet, the farrier, and that oil I treated him with for his rain rot, he is now skeptical of me coming towards him with literally anything. On a positive note, he has not responded dangerously to me. He has not given me signs that he wants to attack. Instead, it seems to have become like, I don't trust what you're bringing towards me. I don't want anything to do with it, and he just simply walks away. I always give him the option to leave. Part of also why I let him walk away and I don't have him, you know, on a halter or in the stall is because I don't want him to feel trapped. You know, it's pretty dangerous working with a horse that is already defensive, but you know, making him feel trapped on top of that or adding to anything that could make him feel trapped can very quickly turn into a very dangerous situation. So I just want to avoid that overall. I'm also not too concerned, you know, some of you might think that, okay, well, how are you going to put those daily preventatives like fly spray, swat on his legs, anything like that if he's walking away? It's kind of a slow, like one leg at a time, and he gets a break in between each one. So if he walks away while I'm doing it, that's okay. I give him a few minutes where he walks away, and then I start walking alongside of him, petting him, grooming him, and then I just slide my hands down his legs and give it a rub. And then he can leave again if he wants. He doesn't ever seem to feel inclined to kick or defend himself, otherwise he would have by now. It's been a month since he's been at the house with me, and his anxiety has improved drastically, like just drastically. To think just over a month ago, his hoof just narrowly missed a farmhand's head, and now he's all up in your face asking for kisses. You know, that's a big, big difference. So with all of this said, and I'm a little frazzled, you know, there's a lot that's been going on. We've had the vet out, the farrier out. Both of them say he needs a job. He needs, I need a trainer to help me, blah, 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 blah. He's improved drastically in just a month. And really, it's been 3 weeks because the first week I didn't work with him. Yet I still question daily if I'm moving fast enough with him. And I really think that this next week is going to be the judge of that. This next week, I'm planning on having 2 to 3 sessions with him. The first one, grooming in the pasture, and then the next 2 training sessions, both partially in protected contact, and then weaning out the protected contact for in-pasture training. Also, I know you guys, I keep kind of glossing by it, why I have not gotten a trainer out. Okay. If you plan on getting a horse, get a trainer before you get a horse. And you need to get a trainer that you can trust. I have not gotten a trainer out to see Koda because I am scared to. Yes, I watch videos, I read articles, and I talk to people in person, multiple different instructors and trainers, and people with experience with horses for everyone's different point of view. And I take what I get from that. And I also do have hands-on experience with other horses, with someone else. It's just the only horse that no instructor has intervened with yet is Koda. And again, the simple answer as to why is I am scared to. I fear my horse getting hit for every little thing he does wrong. And I was told by so many different, you know, people that my horse was the problem. And he needs to be smacked, he needs to be punched in the nose, blah, 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 all the negative things you could think of. And I am horrified of bringing someone to my own home just to tell me you need to smack him around. Koda's here all day, and I'm here most of the time too. So if a training session I'm noticing I'm getting impatient, I can just walk away and come back later if that's what needs to happen. When you have someone like an instructor or a trainer out, they're usually there for an hour. And that can lead to more pressure, and I don't want that pressure to lead to something happening with Koda and all of a sudden his anxiety coming back, you know? Still, like, I'm still working on finding a trainer I can fully trust, and I do ask multiple people. I just haven't yet brought one in to physically help me in Koda. But yeah, with that said, I hope all of that made sense. It was more so just an update video because I did want to post this week, but I didn't have any actual footage. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Yeah.